Hello and welcome to Euro Football Daily, where today we're looking at the superstars, one club men and grafters who will be remembered as club icons for years to come. We start with a modern Premier League great. 10. Heung-min Son. Barring serious injury, Heung-min Son will surpass Teddy Sheringham's record of 277 appearances for Tottenham Hotspur this year, and next season he could overtake club icon Ledley King. The South Korean cost the Lily Whites just £27 million in 2015, and he's played over 40 games in every campaign since, establishing himself as one of the world's most exciting and reliable forwards. Though British pundits will always prefer Kane, the former Leverkusen man is arguably the more rounded player. With 95 goals for the club, he's in touching distance of Robbie Keane's 1-2-2 and has been involved in a strike every 106 minutes across all competitions since his switch to White Hart Lane, while his tally of 8 in the Prem this campaign is only bettered by Lewandowski in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's also intelligent, hard-working and an excellent passer, with just 4 players in Spurs history delivering more assists than his current 52. The only shame about Son's time in England is that he's not won the silverware players of similar talent, like Mane and Sterling, have been able to. But Spurs' growth into a super club coincides exactly with Son's arrival, and for that, he'll always be a hero north of the river. 9. Samir Handanovic. That Jan Oblak is 27 and still has just over 30 caps for Slovenia tells you a lot about the quality of Samir Handanovic. The keeper is in his 9th season at Inter Milan, meaning that just 4 Serie A clubs boast a longer-serving player, and while he missed the late 2000s glory years at the San Siro, he has been named to the division's team of the season 3 times, as well as holding the record for most penalties saved in Italian football. With over 170 clean sheets, Handanovic ranks among the 10 best keepers in Serie A history, maintaining a shutout in 35% of his appearances, and his fitness record is absolutely staggering, playing in 299 out of 311 league games since Inter paid €15 million for him in 2012. That consistency means that he's likely to overtake Andrea Pirlo's record of 493 Serie A games this campaign, and though he's now 36, he remains top class, with his save percentage of 72% last year exceeding that of Gianluigi Donnarumma. In a country renowned for great goalkeeping, only Buffon can claim a better record than Handanovic. 8. James Ward-Prowse. A product of Southampton's youth system, James Ward-Prowse is now 26 and in his 18th year with the club, having joined way back in 2003. The midfielder made his debut for the first team at 16, and in his first campaign helped the Saints return to the Premier League after a 7-year absence, since going on to establish himself as a regular under 8 different managers. The Englishman has always been a creative force thanks to his exceptional set-piece ability, providing over 2 chances a game across his time at St Mary's, and his 8 free-kick goals in the Prem already put him among the best dead ball specialists in Premier League history, with only 4 needed to reach second place behind David Beckham. But under Ralph Hasenhüttl, Ward-Prowse has added new dynamism to his game, hitting 4 tackles and interceptions a match for the first time in his career, as well as completing more passes and losing the ball less than ever before. If he sees out his career at Southampton, Ward-Prowse would become just the 5th one-club man in their history and deservedly join Matt Le Tissier as one of the side's most loyal and beloved stars. 7. Koke. When Atletico Madrid won La Liga in 2013-14, Koke was the breakthrough star. At the time, he was 22 and grabbed 20 goals and assists in league play, achieving the dream of every football fan as he won the title and reached the Champions League final with the team he had joined at just 8 years old. Koke was playing in Atleti's academy when Diego Simeone was in the first team, and their shared commitment to the cause made him a guaranteed starter and impossible to prize out of Madrid. Barcelona were the first to try, offering the Spaniards £55 million buyout clause in 2014, but he chose to stay and has since made almost 500 appearances for Los Colchoneros. Capable of operating across midfield, he acted like a number 10 in his youth, delivering an average of 16 league goal involvements a year between the ages of 20 and 24. But he matured into a fine destroyer, winning possession around 4 times a match at his peak, as often as Fernandinho at Man City. Now 28, it's unlikely Koke will ever leave Atletico, and by setting an example to other young stars like Saul, his influence will be felt in the red half of Madrid long after he's gone. 6. Kasper Schmeichel. With just over 60 Premier League clean sheets to his father's 128, Kasper Schmeichel is unlikely to surpass Peter's contribution to English football. But arguably his single Premier League title is more impressive than any of his dad's, helping Leicester to the first championship in their history in 2016 against all odds, keeping 15 clean sheets that season in a backline featuring Danny Simpson and Christian Fuchs. Since then, almost the entire squad has been turned over, and only Vardy and Schmeichel remain guaranteed starters. But while the Englishman has received plenty of plaudits for his continued excellence, the Dane's contribution often goes overlooked, despite an average of 11 clean sheets in the league over the last 5 campaigns. Like Vardy, he was a bargain at £1.5 million and has been with the Foxes longer than anyone else, arriving a year before veteran defender Wes Morgan and helping the club climb from the Championship to the summit of the Prem, playing every match in 6 out of his 9 full campaigns at the King Power. In that time, he's maintained an average save rate of 73%, better than Edison, and has led Leicester from one golden generation into another. The 34-year-old is the foundation the Foxes have built on. 5. Lars Bender. Bayer Leverkusen have always inspired loyalty. Former striker Stefan Kiesling has an administrative role at the club, while one-time stars Simon Rolfers and Rudi Voller work on the team's recruitment. And Lars Bender could be the next on the list, having represented the club since 2009, when he joined from 1860 Munich for €2.5 million at the age of 20. A versatile player who can feature at right back or defensive midfield, Bender was almost impassable at his peak, making over 7 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, the numbers we currently see from Wilfred Ndidi. He was also a solid passer and press resistant, with around 2 dribbles a game, and as a consequence won 19 caps for Germany, though he missed out on their 2014 World Cup win. But nothing epitomised his love for Leverkusen like his actions in the summer of 2020, when he resigned the club captaincy he had held for 5 years, reasoning that his injury problems prevented him being the leader on the pitch the team needed. Sacrificing his own status was a selfless act of devotion to the club which would be remarkable for any other player. But for Bender, it was simply the right thing to do. 4. Edin Dzeko. With 5 different managers in the last 5 years, it's no surprise Roma have seen a lot of squad turnover, meaning that veteran forward Edin Dzeko is now their longest serving player. The Bosnian joined in 2015 when he was already 29, and while he hasn't won a trophy in the Eternal City, he helped the side finish second with 87 points in 2016-17, a record in the club's 93-year history. Along the way, Dzeko has scored over 100 goals for the Giallorossi, hitting 39 in his best campaign, and this season will move into 3rd spot on the all-time top scorers list, while his creativity means he's also delivered over 40 assists in his 5 years in Italy, overall contributing to a goal every 118 minutes. As a result, it's hardly shocking that his spot in the 11 has never been usurped, despite Roma signing 7 different centre-forwards during Dzeko's time with them. He may lack the emotional link to Roma of Totti and the flair of an icon like Batistuta, but Dzeko has quietly been one of Europe's top forwards at the Stadio Olimpico. The Roman faithful will miss him when he's gone. 3. Jordan Henderson. Liverpool's longest-serving player, Jordan Henderson has been a flop, a bench warmer, and finally a League and Champions League winning captain for the Reds as he closes in on his 400th appearance for the club. It's a remarkable turnaround for a player considered surplus to requirements when Jurgen Klopp arrived, with Liverpool almost selling the Englishman to Tottenham in 2016. But Henderson's greatest gift to Liverpool has been consistency. While he may rarely have a world-class game, he almost never has a bad one, and he's gradually altered his style to fit an evolving Liverpool. Before Klopp arrived, he was creative, producing 2 chances a game and 15 goal involvements in 14-15. Then in the early days under the German, he became a battler, winning possession 5 times per 90 and leading the press. And now he's the conductor of the Red Orchestra, scaling up seamlessly from 50 passes a game in his youth to over 80 now, as Liverpool turned from scrappy Dortmund impersonators into the best team in Europe. Just 5 current Premier League players have spent longer with their side than Henderson, and no one has been more successful. He may never be as talented as Steven Gerrard, but his influence could well be as great. 2. Marco Verratti. Staying at a club when you don't have the option to leave, no offence Mark Noble, is often enough to get you legend status, but staying when you could go anywhere is much more impressive. So it's amazing that Marco Verratti remains at PSG at 28, 8 years after the French side paid Serie B Pescara €12 million for his services. In the intervening years, Verratti has helped Les Parisiens to 25 trophies and a Champions League final, and turned down switches to Barcelona, Real Madrid and both Manchester clubs to stay in Ligue 1. As a result, the Italian arguably remains underrated, not least by his national side, who have handed him just 38 caps, fewer than Eric Dyer for England. Unlike Dyer, Verratti is exceptional at everything, making 5 tackles and interceptions a game over the last decade, while creating 2 chances and completing 2 dribbles, all figures which rank among the very best for his position and which go up in Champions League play, suggesting that Verratti could have flourished in any division. With over 300 appearances, only 5 players in PSG history have played more games than Verratti, and he could have more than half a decade left at the top, perhaps PSG's greatest ever player. 1. Rafael Guerrero. If you want to know what Bukayo Saka's potential looks like, watch Rafael Guerrero. Like Arsenal's teenage sensation, Guerrero can play at left back, left wing and in midfield, and is somehow still just 26, despite featuring in his 5th campaign for Borussia Dortmund. Despite injury issues, the Portuguese boasts a frightening record of 32 goal involvements in 70 league starts for BVB, and is flying this season, with the best dribble numbers of his career at 2.5 per 90, and ranking 4th in Europe for chances created per game with 4.3. That hasn't harmed his defending, as he wins possession 3 times a game and succeeds with over 75% of his challenges, and in fact he's so important to Dortmund's play that he completes around 90 passes each match, the most in the squad and far more than other playmaking fullbacks like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who gets just 68 passes a game, or Joshua Kimmich, who gets 79. Of course, he needs more games to cement club legend status, but given his age and level of performance, he should be ripping up the Bundesliga for years to come. For all their young stars, Guerrero for 12 million euros may be one of Dortmund's greatest triumphs. So those were our 10 players destined to become club legends, but who did we miss out and who would you have included? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to never miss a video. We'll see you next time.